What's up guys, HOTSHOTFRONTIER, back with another video. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to have our first deck profile on the channel, and I decided to choose Gren Maju. So I've played Gren Maju for a while, but I wanted to spice it up. I wanted to make it 60 card deck. This is what this is. So this is my Gren Maju 60 card deck for the October format. So let's get right into it. And to start it off, of course, we need to have 3 of the big boy himself, Gren Maju. This guy's just amazing. A lot of this, what this deck does is it enables me to banish a lot. And if you guys don't know, Gren Maju gains 400 per banished card. It has to be your cards, not your opponent's. So this guy can get up. He can get really big. I've had a game where, remember, I play 60 card deck, so I had like 3 cards left in my deck. Looked at my banished, looked at my graveyard. There were only 2 Gren Majus in there, 1 banished, 1 graveyard. So I was like, okay, it's one of these draws. Drew Gren Maju, immediately put him on field. He was like at 17,000 attack. Immediately just attacked over one of my opponent's monsters, won the game, won the match like that. So, you know, he's an amazing monster. Don't sleep on him. Usually, sometimes you could set him too, and your opponent wouldn't know. They attack into it, they could lose like that as well. So always be aware of that as well. Going into our next one, we have another banished monster. Basically, this is Eater of Millions. So the effect is that basically this can kind of run over anything and it'll banish it. It does gain attack and defense for each banished card. You really don't run into that situation, but it's just good to kind of get over things with its secondary effect. And it helps you banish more cards as well. You need minimum 5 to banish to summon this. It was actually crazy. One game I had where I was banishing a lot of cards, I had exactly just enough, because to summon this you need cards from your extra deck, field, or hand. What I did was I only had 3 cards in my extra deck, 1 card face down on my field, 1 card in my hand. Minimum banished 5, summon this card, and I was able to kind of take over the game. There goes with that. Going into our next card. Very important, we have a Gizmic Orochi. We have 3. Now the reason this card is important is because cost. That's kind of the thing I like with this deck, is you can pay a lot of cost. Even though it doesn't go through, it doesn't really matter. But cost, you have to banish, I believe it's 7 cards face down, or 8 cards face down. And what it does is it'll summon itself on field. You can do this on your opponent's end phase, and if this card's still on your field, during your turn, you can get the effect where if you banish 3 cards from your extra deck face down, you can target 1 monster your opponent controls and destroy it. And also it's on level 8, so it can facilitate our rank 8 plays. Going to our next one, we have Danger Bigfoot. Also we have Thunderbirds. So these are the 8 dangers I play in my deck. There were others like Jackal and Snake, but I took those out because they're not really 8s and they don't get me to where I want to go. So with these, this is really good because either it's just going on field or it's destroying a set card on your opponent's field. And then with Bigfoot is a really good card. Again, it's either going on field, you're drawing a card, or you are destroying a face-up card on the field. So Bigfoot and Thunderbird are really good in this deck. And then moving on, we are going into our Castle of Stormberg engine. So a lot of people do not play this, and mainly because it does bring you down a lot. But to be honest with you, I love this engine. Unless I'm playing like a 40 card version of Gren Maju, then I wouldn't play these because you know, you only have 40 cards. But I think in a 60 card variant, it's really good. Especially this card, because a lot of people don't read it, and that's the problem. So when they get in their battle phase and when they attack me, this is an automatic effect. So the moment your opponent declares an attack, that monster gets destroyed, and they take half the damage. And then during your standby phase, you banish 10 cards from your deck to the banish zone face down, and this is not optional. That's really where, you know, it kind of feeds Gren Maju. Your Gilfberg can either destroy a spell trap card on your opponent's field, not their field zone, but their spell and trap card zone, and it can be discarded to actually search one of these. Another effect of this is when you can, if you don't normal set that turn, you can special summon Hextrude. Hextrude is basically like a pop a free card on the field once per turn effect, and when it attacks, it can also gain 400 or have one of your monsters gain 400. So that's really cool. You don't want to open with this with Hextrude in your hand. If you do, I have other cards you can use to kind of get rid of it because it's not useful then. But in a 60 card deck, it's really hard for you to draw it. Moving on to our next card, we have two kaijus here, two different kaijus. Total 5. We have Radiant and we have Gamacil. So if you guys didn't see my extra deck at the beginning of the video, we do play Super Poly. So this is kind of good to kind of like get rid of something on my opponent's field and then fuse it off. Or again, we just have more kaijus to kind of get over stuff. So there'll be a lot of plays where I'm getting rid of something problematic on my opponent's field, and then I'll just summon Gren Maju with how much attack it has and just kind of go over for game, which is another way to play this deck. So putting that aside, getting to the next one. Now for hand traps, we have a lot. So we have D-Shifters, we have Ghost Bells, we have Droll and Lockbirds. So my idea with this is that I believe it's a heavy graveyard kind of banishing format. So that's why I play Ghost Bells. If I can draw D-Shifter in my opening hand, which I know is kind of like not reliable, but recently when I went to locals, I swear to you, every time I opened up my first hand, game one, I actually had D-Shifter in my hand, and it messed my opponent up too, to the point where they would just go pass and then let me go because they couldn't really do anything. And then Droll and Lockbird, so this is kind of like a this is basically like, it hurts me too, to a point, but it hurts my opponent more, so that's why I play it. But these are all the hand traps that we play. There is one more, but you guys will see at the end. Now for draw cards, there are a lot of draw cards. So we have Extravagance, we had Desires. Desires is probably the best one in the deck. Trade-ins, Allure of Darknesses. So basically the point of this, so I'm not gonna lie, I don't like Pot of Extravagance a lot because if I open up more of these, it won't let me use it. But this is kind of in the case where this is the only card I open up, so I have, I might as well use it to draw 2. Desires, again, best thing. Cost is the best thing. You pay 10, doesn't matter if you draw or not, because now you've already banished 10 to kind of help Gren Maju. Trade-in, this is what you use for like your Hextrude, just in case if you draw it in hand, or any other level 8, you draw 2. And then again, Lord Darkness, you want to always have at least a dark in hand to, before you activate this, because unless you're really, really like gonna lose, you have like no life points as like your last turn anyway, then you play this, and if you don't draw anything, you banish your entire hand. So moving on, I play 3 TTT. The reason for this is I actually don't have 3 Forbidden Droplets, only have 1, but I thought this card would be pretty good because my opponent, I think with Yugioh right now, your opponent will at least activate a monster effect on your turn. It doesn't have to be hand traps, it could be anything on their field, because this is a build a board, break your board, or if you don't break your board, you lose format. So you can use this to draw 2 or take control of 1 monster from controls. It could be like Dragoon, if they've already used the effect, and then I can kind of try to snatch it. If not, I can just use the draw effect, which I mostly would. It kind of bricked a little bit, but I'm going to test it more to really be sure. And then now, moving on, we have Super Poly. So, again, this is a Gren Maju deck, but for my extra deck, there's not much more to play other than like Super Poly targets. And these are really strong right now because Dragoon, they play another Dark, you can just fuse it off. Shadalls, oh, you got it. You can just fuse everything, mostly everything off. That's the reason why I play Super Poly. Moving on, we have 1 Raigeki because it's just 1 Raigeki. Just for all your opponent's monsters. Once you get rid of all of their effects, you can just pop that off. And then our last hand trap technically is Infinite Impermanence. So again, I just want as many disruptions as I can because I'm a going second deck. I can go first, I can show you guys what I built first, but going second, Infinite Impermanence is a really good card. Even setting it and then activating it, sometimes if your opponent will activate a spell or trap in the zone of Infinite Impermanence, you activate that Infinite Impermanence, and then you can negate that spell or trap card's effect. So that's the main deck. We're going to go over the extra deck. So for super poly targets, I play all of these. So let me show you guys. These are 2 Starving Venoms. You just need 2 darks, summon this out. This is a Prayer Plant fusion. If you guys have never seen this one, this basically, you just need 3 darks. Sometimes it's hard to get, that's why we have 1, but I have done it before where my opponent had did make 2 Dragoons, I had a dark on board, so I went, alright, activate this, summon this. And then I played a Prank Kids out, but I actually didn't see any Prank Kids when I went to my locals. I didn't really see any Prank Kids, but I might take this out and replace it with something else. And then we have 2 Mud Dragon of the Swamps. You'd be surprised, especially like a Tri-Brigade board where they just end with double Dragon and Appaloosa. All I do is Super Poly, summon both of these out, and that's it. Because that's usually hard to break. But other than these fusions, alright, for the rest of the extra deck, we have number 97, number 38, 100, and we have 92 Heart Earth Dragon. So the reason I played this package, it's pretty generic, just 2 level 8s, and then you're able to summon out more XYZs from your extra deck. So I can summon out 38 Hope Harbinger for spell negation and monster redirection, or I can summon Numeron Dragon to kind of go for that OTK. But remember that this is the only monster that can attack, so you have to make sure you have enough on board to destroy it. And then 92 is just basically to banish everything. This is just something I've had for a while in my collection, so I decided to just kind of throw it in, see how that would go. Haven't activated it yet, but I'm sure I'll get to a situation where I need to. Then we have a Zeus, because you can make a Zeus, and it is viable, so it's good to kind of have it in. Then we have a number 90 for Monster Negation. It's a really expensive card right now, so there's other cards you can play. These are just cards that I have available to me. Then we have a 68 Saffron. So Saffron is a card that if you're forced to go first, you can make. You just need 2 level 8s. If you're able to draw into and get one of the Golden Castles, you're able to summon a Hextrude. So you just need to kind of pop a Danger Effect to summon it on board. Or you can use the Gizmek Orochi to summon it on board and then go into your Saffron. So just so you guys know, a good combo is like having your Golden Castle on board, and then your Saffron, like defense mode, can't be destroyed by card effects, and again, your Golden Castle will immediately activate its effect if your opponent declares a monster effect. Declares an attack. And for Saffron's effect, during your turn, you just attach your material, and neither player can special summon monsters from the graveyard, which again can be very detrimental to certain decks. But moving on to our last 2 cards, we run Dingirsu. Dingirsu is a very, very good generic rank 8. You can get rid of a lot of stuff because it's a send effect, not a destroy, not a banish, doesn't target. And then finally we have our Topologic Zeroboros. Sometimes it'll be hard to get 4 monsters on board, but if you're able to, this card's really good. It's kind of like your secondary or maybe third win with instead of Gren Maju and your Numeron Dragon. It still gains a lot because it gains for both, I believe. And for each card banished, so it's you and your opponent's banished card. So this can get really big as well, and basically banish everything on board. But this is it for the extra deck. Now let me show you guys what I'm running in my side deck. First, we're going 3 Nibiru because it's a heavy combo format. Again, so Nibiru kind of helps to stop a lot of that down. And then, because I'm scared of Drytron, 2 Alley of Justice Cycle Readers. I had this at 3, but I'll show you why it's at 2. I actually might have to bring it back to 3, but I'll show you guys. It basically just slows down Drytrons. And then here we go, the Spice. We have 3 Lightning Storms. I had the one, I pulled it. These 2 I bought from people on Instagram. But yeah, this Lightning Storm, it speaks for itself. It's a really good spell card. Then we have 3 Twin Twisters, again, because I'm scared of back row. I want all that gone immediately. Then we have 3 Mystic Mine. I think it's a good tech. I was gonna main deck it, but there's just a lot of cards in my main deck that need to be there, so it's hard to make room for it. And then finally, we're playing a Macro Cosmos. So this is why I bumped this to 2. Macro Cosmos is an amazing card. Again, if I'm going first or even second, sometimes I'll side this in just to kind of help banish stuff. But yeah, that's it for my side deck. Yeah, that's it, guys. That's it for my for the Gren Maju deck for the October 2021 format. Definitely let me know in the comment section down below. How would you run this? Is there any card that you would take out? Did you like a certain card? Definitely let me know in the comment section below. I'm always looking for criticisms on this deck, so I can try to make it better. And this may not be affordable for everyone, but tell me if there's an affordable card for you that you might want to change. But yeah, guys, that's it for this video, and I will see you in the next one.